Mr. Graham. Whew. You didn't say it this time, but in our practice you said when your mom heard your song, she cried. When I heard your song, I wanted to dance. Can I get a copy? Maybe? I'll pay you for it.
It's not on YouTube?
Well, it is, but it's private.
Fantastic job. I do want to apologize in public that I didn't get it together to get the right chord to get you the bigger speakers.
It's okay.
Because as you mentioned, it requires monster speakers to hear the depth that you put into this song. And that's why I want to hear it again, like about 17 times. But my question to you is this. You said you were working away, and then you told me one day, oh, I scrapped my idea. And I gotta admit, at that moment, I was a little worried. But you did it for an incredibly good reason. You had a stroke of genius, as we all heard. You scrapped your original idea because you came up with a better one. So what do you attribute that moment of genius to? Why did you scrap your original idea, I guess, and how did you come up with the perfect one?
Well, the idea came to me when I was trying to sleep. Actually, all my ideas come from when I'm trying to sleep. But the story was, it just came to me naturally. At 11 p.m. at night, I thought of it, but I didn't want to forget it after falling asleep. So what I did, I took my phone, I went into the bathroom, and I recorded myself humming. Yeah, so I'm not sure, it's just, my mind just is, I guess, a lot more musical when I'm trying to fall asleep. I don't know, I'm not sure.
That's great, thank you.
Mr. Graham, it's been a real pleasure watching you go through this process over the course of the year. And I think that perhaps, maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't, but one of the most interesting takeaways from the whole process is that you started off trying to do something that was derivative of another genre, and then you sort of came out the other end, and I think in the process you kind of found your own voice. And I hope you'll agree with me, I think that's a really important part of being an artist, is finding your own voice and championing your own cause, and I think that was a really great example of that. So congratulations. Yes. My question, aside from, I'm sure something happened between Otto Luening and Vladimir Usichevsky in 1980, but we can gloss over that for now. My question to you is, what was the most challenging part of the process in realizing that composition that you just played for us?
Technical?
Either emotional, technical, compositional, nutritional, I don't know, what was the most challenging thing for you to overcome in realizing that?
The amount of procrastination. For example, when I'd watch YouTube tutorials on my song, and you know how on YouTube there's the video, and then there's little videos on the side, and I'd be looking at those, and I decide, 5 minutes, I decide to click on that, and then I end up watching videos that take longer than 15 minutes, and they're on video gameplays, and then I decide, I want to play video games, so I'd waste 4 to 5 hours.
So screwing around basically was the biggest challenge in this. Okay. Well, thanks for being so honest. I really appreciate that. Let that be a lesson to others, I think.
Well, one of the good things and bad things, I broke my ankle, and I had a lot more time to focus on my song. So,
thank goodness for that. Anyway, all kidding aside, congratulations. That was a great job, and we're all really proud of the job that you did, so good one.
Congratulations, Chai. It was so much fun seeing the progression of your song over the year, from the initial kernel of the idea, or throwing away your idea, and coming up with new material. And I think you totally made the right choice because you were excited about the new idea. I guess my question is, how did your compositional process or the way you compose change throughout the year, throughout this whole project?
Well, before this song, like I think I mentioned in my presentation, I had many different ideas, but all those different ideas were in like the form of this thing called the musical chorus. So when I thought of this song, I thought of it I thought of the beginning first. So I guess the way I compose is like, instead of coming up with a musical chorus first, I have the ability now to start at the beginning or anywhere else and expand from there.
I'd like to start with questions from the floor with a comment, though, of how much I'm looking forward to next year's Rites of Passage with Hudson Catering and you DJing the dance party afterwards. Okay, from the students first. Stand up.
Good job. That was really good. My question is, would you consider going into a career based on your Masterworks? Like related to it?
Career?
Yeah.
I think there's a slight chance I might, but at the beginning of the project, Rob actually told me, and I agree with him on this, it's really hard to get like good in the music industry. So it's an option, but I don't have my mind set on that.
Good job, Mr. Graham. What was your favorite part of making a song?
My favorite part was probably just like how different it was from playing other people's music. I found it like really a really exciting experience to make my own music instead of always playing other people's music on the piano.
Hello, brother. So, when you first started Masterworks, I was gonna come up with a very difficult trick question. I've been thinking about this all year. What is your song called?
Yeah, my title is called "It's Mind on Fire." Mind on fire.
Chai, well done. The start of your presentation, when you had that little picture of you when you were 6, that's my favorite picture of you. But you are definitely a product of your generation. It's beautiful for us to be in the house when you sit down at the piano and just bang away at it. And anyway, I just love watching this whole progression. So I definitely want a copy of that. And so I guess that leads into my question. How do you take a song that you've created like this and push it towards production and push it out to the public? Have you and Rob and Christian and Adrian talked about that? Share it with the world?
Well, like taking it from like a song and publicizing it.
Yeah, like putting it on the radio and getting it picked up by a record label?
I'm not sure. It's quite, like Rob said, it's quite difficult to get your tracks out there. But one of the most common ways people are doing it right now is through social media. So like sharing it on SoundCloud or Instagram or Facebook.
Hi, Mr. Graham. Thank you so much for sharing that piece with us. It's very inspiring to myself, and I'm sure a lot of us here. Yeah, my question to you, I'm very passionate about music, and I've always been in it as well, and I've always found it hard to go from composing a piece to matching lyrics to that piece. And it sounds like you start with the composing of the actual music itself. So how do you then go about, can you walk us through those stages and those next steps about putting lyrics to it, and where does that inspiration come from?
So what I do when I'm making or writing lyrics is I make a vocal melody first. I don't have the lyrics yet. I make a vocal melody first. And me and Christian talked about this a few times, like what does a vocal melody look like in most pop music today? And there's a lot of, what we've got out was a lot of repeated things, and you try to stay in like a little range of the keyboard, and it also depends on like your singer's vocal range. And then you develop the lyrics, and it's kind of like fitting, like it's kind of like a puzzle, trying to fit the pieces together.
Good job. Do you ever see yourself singing in one of your own songs?
My mom tells me I should sing all the time, but I'm just gonna stick with the piano.
If you were to do another song, what type of genre would you do?
Well, for me, over this process of year, I've been interested in a lot of rap music. So if I were to do this again, I'd probably make like a few rap beats or.
What is your favorite part about music?
My favorite part about music is just how, I don't know, it's just, I guess the emotion part of it. Like, most people can take out like their anger on like punching a pillow or something, or can cry or something, like to express sadness. For me, all my emotion kind of comes out through playing a piano. So, sorry, I forgot your question. Yeah, so my favorite part about music is, how you can express so many emotions through an instrument.
You may remember that Lucia Bicknell, who's in the audience today, did her Masterworks last year on how emotions and music are connected. So, Chai, I hope you were inspired by Lucia last year.
What instruments do you play, and like how many?
I play the piano and the ukulele.
Any more questions? Whoa.
What inspired you to start playing piano when you were 6?
My mom. And my teacher as well. At first, I forget, my mom I think, how I remember it was, my mom told me, oh, Chai, you're doing piano, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then, through the years, piano has just really grown on me, and has just, has become, a really big part of my life.
Can I have one more question?
What was your least favorite or the hardest part of this project for you?
My least favorite part? Well, my least favorite part was probably, I'm not sure. My least favorite part had to be, all the technical things behind all the instruments, in my song, there's presets, and you kind of have to use different tools and things to get the sound you want. and that took me a really long time to get some sounds, and it was really frustrating. That was probably my least favorite part.
Mr. Guerin, thank you for that. I just wanted to make a comment. When reading your paper, you were talking about Kygo's song Steal the Show, and he wrote a huge long paragraph about all the different layers within that song, and I thought, God, I just sing along to the lyrics and tap my feet. There's so much more to it that only someone with an ear for it and a mind for it can actually hear. So I'm very impressed with the depth of your knowledge in the subject. Thanks for answering all those questions. We're going to take a short break and be back here at about 3 minutes to.